How's it going, internets? I hope you're having a lovely day. It's that time again. It's time to get into some animation, get that imagination all cranked up, get into some creativity. It's time to get inspired. And today's inspiration comes from Dirk, Erik Schulz. If you're not familiar with his work, check right over here. He is a wonderful artist. I really love his style because I feel like he kind of exemplifies a lot of what we're talking about taking those influences and understanding those fundamentals and then making them uniquely you. I feel like in his work, there's a lot of stuff that really harkens back to the caricaturization and stylings of someone like John Kay. Sorry about that. Someone like John Kay. But there's so much structure, and he also throws in. Let me flip through a couple of these here. This one, I feel like there's some almost Dr. Seuss-like stylings here, mixed with some like 90s caricaturization and graffiti art. Sorry about that. And yeah, he's just got a beautiful stylings, and he also brings in a lot of his own influences here. You can see that definitely he's been passionate about video games, and he just brings that unique style while still being able to capture the essence of some characters that would not normally be in this same regard. This was the first piece that I saw his that I really was drawn to. I felt like there's some beautiful stuff working on here, some lovely line work, really great color choices, interesting style options, the way that he has these leaves almost protrude from a hole inside is a really interesting choice. It's something that I hadn't seen before with that particular thing that I thought was really unique. So definitely check out more of his stuff. I will throw a link in the description below. I really enjoy all of his stuff. Like I said, it's something that's pretty unique to him with his style. There's definitely some influences in there, but you can see that he really exemplifies that make it your own and use your own creativity and your own imagination, your own style, and go with it. But I want to share a quote with you guys from him, and that was, I like to get as surreal as possible with forms, and I think I can always do better. Keep working and stop procrastinating. With work comes wisdom. With wisdom comes skill, and with skill comes quality. And I thought that last part was really great. You know, keep working and stop procrastinating. I think is a really difficult thing to master sometimes. And continue to work, because your wisdom will lead to skill, and skill comes with quality. Again, a great quote. But let's go ahead and get into some animation here. Today we'll be using the Dragon rig. It's a free rig you can grab over at Creative Crash. And if you're not familiar with what we'll be doing for the rest of the video, we give ourselves 48 frames. It's 2 seconds of animation. I go off and I find a rig that I've never used before. It's a free resource for you guys to play around with as well. And now we kind of go from there. A little bit of over the shoulder, hang out with me while I animate, a little bit of talking through the process. And overall, the main goal of these videos is to hopefully encourage you guys and inspire you to go off and create something that's uniquely you each and every day, and take another step in your journey. So that being said, let's go play. I feel like I'm a little off my game in my speech the last couple of days, so apologies about that. Try to be as open and honest with you guys as I can with everything. So let's go ahead and create our first pose here. And let's go. We're going to do pretty much just a flying cycle here with this guy. And let's go ahead and bring the feet up. We want to create an interesting storytelling pose here. Drag the feet back. Do we have any actual like toe controllers? I'm not sure. Be interesting to see. And let's take these particular ones and raise them up a little bit here. Bring them in a little bit as well. And take these guys here. I'm really excited to do Dragon. I haven't done some flying animation for a while, so I'm excited to be able to play around with that for a little bit here. And let's swoop the neck down a little bit more. That's the correct terminology, by the way, swoop. I'm gonna scoop it down, whatever you normally say. And let's open the jaw here. Be a little more vicious with this guy. And the this tail set up here. Let's bring that down and bring all the rest of that back up here. Bring that back down. Just trying to create a nice flow throughout the tail here. And normally I would take it and use them all together, but I want to try and get something a little bit smoother, and it doesn't appear that we can get something. There probably should be another section break at the end of the tail there, but I'll keep with that. And let's go ahead and rotate the feet inward a little bit. And let's push them in a little bit as well. And probably go about 3/4 with the camera angle that we'll use here. Let's still tweak the chest a little bit here. Down a little bit more, just so we get a little more arch in there. Up a little bit. Okay. I feel like that's fairly good. So let's go ahead and save our file. We are using Autodesk Maya 2014 for today's video. And for more information on that, definitely check out all of the links in the description below. I'll have a link to the rig, to more stuff on Dirk, and to the stuff on Maya as well. Man, I'm spacing out today, so let's go ahead and create our polygon primitives cube. So we have a base just to set for reference for our shot here. And again, we'll probably go with about an angle like that. Let's go ahead and scale that out a little bit more and back as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and set our frame range. Again, we're just going to do a cycle here. I'm going to say 48 frames for now, but I definitely am probably going to play around with the timing, so that might change. And then we'll go ahead and grab everything, make sure we only have our NURB curves, NURB surfaces, and polygons selected. And we'll go ahead and set our first key. And let's go ahead and go 14. I think it's going to be a little bit slower. Let's go down. No, let's do 7th then. Down, up, down, up, down, up. And let's do 56 frames then. 49 will be down again. And then back to where we were. And let's look at it. Make sure I did that right. Animation editor's graph editor. Let's look at our translate Y. And let's even that out a little bit more. Bring that over here. Okay, let's see how that feels. Too much down. And let's actually go on 8s instead. So we need a little bit longer, so we're going to just bump everything 1 frame back. And that means we could probably stop again at 48, because that would give us still a cycle here, right? Yeah, okay, so we can cut back to 48 here. Okay, now let's look at the, see how we want to break stuff up. Let's look at the feet first. Okay, and we'll go up here, and down there, up here, down there, up here, and down there, and then back again. It's too slow, so we actually should probably have it go about 2 frames sooner. less down. So let's go ahead and do more up and less down. Again, we're still building this, so we might tweak stuff around, but let's do a little bit less up as well. That feels a little better. Make sure it loops correctly. There we go. Alright, and let's look at the spine here. See how we want to approach that. Let's just look at the back portion here. Start there. Let it go back. And then 8 frames later, go down. Back. Back. And down again. Back. And we'll offset the chest as well. We'll see if we like this. We might tweak it as well. And then go back to where it was. Let's see. Alright, let's minimize it a little bit more and then offset the chest a little bit, and I think we're starting to get somewhere with it. Okay, and now let's look at the chest here. Let's see if we grab both of them if we want to do that. Back, this way, back, and then back again. Let's see. Alright, we need to clean that up a little bit more. And I might try inverting this stuff as well. Not sure that I love it where it's at right now. So let's look at that again and see. Maybe I do, maybe it's just a little too much. Okay, so let's look at the neck. Maybe let's loosen it up here at the neck. Grab both portions of the neck and let's see. Down, back, down, back, down, and back again. Let's see. Let's do less of that. See if we offset it with what we do with the second portion of the neck. Let's see. Alright, and let's go at 8 here. And then back again. And there. And back again. And there. And back again. Let's see. Let's clean that up. Minimize it a little bit more, and then we'll take what we have from the head and offset that here. So we'll go up here, down there, up here, So maybe we'll do less down this way. Or just less on this, because it's just too much right now. Too much on the head now, so let's figure that out a little bit better. Okay, now I want that to still feel forward and that to feel forward. So maybe we do a little bit of that. Let's see. I think we could still tone it down a little bit more. Let's see if we can amp up this portion of the neck a little bit more, loosen it up. Let's see. And then we'll still scale back the head a little bit more. Let's do a little more on the back of the neck here. Let's look at it now. Scale it back a little bit. Scale this back a little bit. Let's look at this one again. Let's even it out a little bit more. There's something still off a little bit on one of those moves, so trying to see where it is, where it stems from. Might be even here. Feels pretty even. So maybe it's just the looping part that's throwing me off. Maybe we could amp this up a little bit more. Let's see. Better. Keeping it where it is, let's just balance it out a little bit more. And let's see. Alright, let's start looking at the wings then. No, let's do the tail first. We'll save the wings kind of for last. So let's start with top two sections of the tail. Let's go ahead and save our file too while we're at it. And we'll pull it back. And then we'll go down, back, down, back, down, and back to where we started. I almost want to slow this down one more frame. Maybe we'll just do less up and down overall, and that'll make it feel a little better. Keep it where it is. Okay, anyways, let's go back to the tail. That's why timing, I feel like, is a good important step to get into before you get too far in your animation. Okay, let's go down there, and then go back up here, and down there, and back up here, and down there, and then back up again. Right, and let's look at the back of the tail. We'll go back to doing it on fours. We'll pull it back here. And down there. Up here. And down there. Up here. And down there. And then back again. Now, one thing I feel like we could probably do more down. Go down, back up, down. There we go. And then let's crank up the back of the tail. Pull the root here a little bit more. And grab both of those here. Bring that back. That way. That way. That way. That way. And back again. Okay. See, it should be right here. This should be back more. This should be down there. Maybe we need less of this to go straight out here. The idea there is just not really come across just yet. So let's just push this back to do it on fours. Flip it. Go the other way here. Okay, so we're gonna have to scale that back a little bit more. still feel like this should be broken up. Timing for those should be on 4s. This guy should be a little bit different. It should be on 8s. Let's kind of go back a couple steps back and let's see. It's looser. It's not what I want, but it's... And then we'll delay this. Like that. Let's see. Starting to feel a little bit looser. And maybe we'll delay the last bit by a frame. We could probably amp up the last bit of the tail even more here. Crank it up a little bit more. Maybe a little bit less. We could maybe delay these one more frame. And also, we'll minimize it a little bit more as well. And then let's vary the timing by about a frame there. Maybe we'll just do here, there. Just so there's a little bit of variety in our timing. So it's still the same main idea. It's just got a little variety in our timing there. Alright, now let's also go ahead and do a little bit of rotate in. And up and back. rotate in there. So let's scale that back a little bit more. Again, it'd be cool if they had some toe controllers so we could actually do some more stuff there, but I feel like that's working. Alright, now let's start looking at the wings here. Now, we kind of want some different timing. So let's do maybe on 12s here. I think we have to kind of stick with the same format. So let's go with 8. We'll rotate out. And then back down. Out. And back down. Out. And back down again. So let's see. These guys, push them down, and at 12 will go back up, and 20 will go down, 28 would go back up, 36 would go down, 44 would go back up, and then go back in. Let's see. Only thing with these, I want them not to go more straight out in the middle. Is there a way to push them forward? Okay, I'll have to do it individually. Forward there. Back there. Forward there. And back there. Forward there. And back there. Forward there. Back there. Forward there, back there, forward there, and then back to where we started. So let's see. That feels better. Okay, let's go here. So we'll push it out straighter here, and back there, straighter here. Back there, straight out there, back there, straight out there, back there, and then back again. Okay, so let's see. Alright, and let's look at this portion here. Let's have those go down there, up there, down there, So let's just start minimizing stuff a little bit more and evening it out a little bit more here. These guys, minimize those. Just want to get that kind of deformation to flesh out of there, so we're going to pull stuff back until so these should be up higher there. I gotta worry about these back portions bleeding through. So maybe what we can do is we can push these down further. And that means we could do less of this. Less on these guys there. And let's do less on these ones up here. And we can't go up as high. No, see, that's not flicking anything, so maybe we can't go down as low with these guys. Let's see. Only go kind of within this range. Now let's just get rid of those rotate Ys for right now. Maybe we'll rebuild them back in, but for right now we're going to get rid of them. I don't want as much down on those ones, so let's see if we can pull that back a little bit. Yeah, let's see if we can amp these guys back up a little bit more. So I feel like we muted them a little too much. For some reason, this last one feels like there's a lot of movement in between this last move here, so let's scale that back a little bit more. Alright, starting to come together. Now, I don't want these to really go back here, so I want to try and push them. Let's do that again. They're out there. see, it's just too much. Darn. Okay. What if I maybe did some, is there a rotate here that would do it? Let's see if I rotate that. There we go. Let me do that out there. Let me go back there. Go forward there. Back there. Forward there. Back there. Forward there. Back there. Forward there. And back again. Let's see if that does it. That's not what I want. Let's see. Do every other one. Let's see if that works. So you get a better flap throughout. Bring that back down. Alright, starting to feel better. And let's exaggerate that and see how it looks. See if we can't get this to go out there, or if it's gonna break that other joint. Alright, it's a workaround. I'd like to get some better looping, some kind of infinity symbol looping throughout the side of the wing, but if it's gonna break it so much, we can't really get that as smooth a movement as I'd like through there. But let's see if we can't approach this guy here and do this other wing out. So I'll go swing out there, and then back here, out there, back here, out there, back here, and then back again. Swing this one out a little bit more. Okay, maybe we could do a little bit of in and out movement through here, where these would be forward in Z, and then back in Z, and then forward, kind of get a swim kind of a movement through it. Maybe that would help. I'm trying to do a workaround since we don't really have much with the ends that we can really do. There we go. Maybe we can get some of that built into there. Okay, now let's even that up a little bit more. Just so we make sure that we're getting a good balance. It's starting to come together. Let's see. And let's maybe we could do a little bit of rotate. I'm gonna rotate X in these guys as well. So we could go up a little bit here, Just trying to loosen these guys up as much as I can with the controllers that I've got. I do feel like maybe they should go more down. These guys again. Maybe we could go. Oh, there's no translate. I was thinking maybe we could do a little bit in and out movement there. Now, what are these? These are the wing elbows. What's that gonna do? Oh, we could go down there, up there, down there. Just want to translate why. Let me just do that. Come on. Okay. Bring it down again. Back up again. And bring it down again. Should be every 8. Okay. 8, 16, timing. It's a good friend. Make sure you're using it right. Somehow switch from working on 8s to working on 12s again. So let's just make sure we go back in there and bring those guys up. Okay. Should do a little more up and down and a little less rotate. It's funny how you look at something and you'll be like, nope, it needs more rotate, less translate. And then you look at it again and be like, nope, it needs more translate, less rotate. It's kind of a give and take. You just gotta find something that sticks. And let's look at the jaw here. Let's go 6. Once 8 frames from that would be 14, back again, and 8 frames from that would be 22, 30, 38, 46, back again, and I'm gonna do less close on here, more open. And maybe just less movement overall, so just scale it down a little bit more. Alright, it's starting to come together. idea's there, but it's not quite where we want it to be. I think we want this to be our inmost. See if that's a little better. Should be in here. And go out there. And in here. Out there. Maybe not. Let's wipe it all and just find a new approach for it. Because it should be out here. This should be the furthest. This should probably be in a little bit more. A little bit more, out. Maybe we just need less of it. In, out, and back to where we started. Alright, now let's see if we can clean that up a little bit more. Maybe we'll minimize it overall throughout. First we'll balance it. And then we'll minimize it. So let's look at it again and just see. There we go. And now let's just do less of that. So we'll just do like 0.2 of it on either side. And let's go back to this one and let's scale it back. Alright, let's look at that again. What do we do? Scale it back, right? Okay. Bring that over. Just kind of match it up with what we were doing with the first one when we scaled it back. Because it's just a lot of movement on those wings. And these tips almost feel like they should be about 2 frames later. So let's see. Let's keep it at 4, but maybe we need. Let's watch it again from. Oh, that feels right. Just feels like it probably should be more. I think if we push it any further, it breaks, right? So let's try a little bit more, I guess. Yeah, it's just that other other side breaks. So let's do maybe a little bit less up. And go back to what it was before. I'd like this to be a little bit. Let's see if we can find it right before it breaks. Too much. So I'll have to bring it back. Okay. Alright, that's about as far as we can go with that without breaking it, so I'll have to be happy with that. Alright, definitely could redo some timing and stuff with the wings, but I think we made do with them. I think like the body works okay. Be great if we had some fingers to use with this and just loosen up those feet a little bit more. But I think with what we have, we managed to get something good within, what do we have, an hour or so that we worked on this thing. So let's go ahead and turn our curves. Actually, let's turn them back on real quick for a second. Let's grab everything and just help our cycling. We're just going to grab all of our last keys and offset them one frame so we don't have a 2-frame hold there. Just help it to cycle back into each other a little bit better. Turn our nerve curves off. Let's create a new perspective here and new polygon primitives cube just so we can have a different background color. And let's assign a new material to it. We'll put a Lambert on there. And let's do like a dark blue. Then we'll mute it a little bit more. And we'll go back to our original camera here. Let's bring that back down a little bit more. Back, scale it up. And over a little bit more. And go back to our other perspective here. We'll grab this, we'll copy it, and paste another one. We'll rotate that, push it back a little bit more, and then we'll assign a new material on here. We'll put a Lambert on that as well. Go with that, but we'll make it a brown color. And let's look back here. Yeah, let's do a little more rotate just so we don't have that harsh color. And we'll push it back. Translate Z. Push that over a little bit more. Bring that back. And just so we get a little bit better. Alright, let's just go ahead and look at that. Just so we have a little bit different background than our usual kind of grayish color. So let's take a look back at where we started. We were looking at the beautiful work of Dirk, Erik, Schulz. And he said, if I can find the right quote, I think I blended quote in the beginning, so I don't want to do that. I want to try and keep that as best as I can. So this is the original quote here. So I want to make sure that we nail that on the head, at least in the end. I think the beginning, I kind of missed that. So keep working and stop procrastinating. With work comes wisdom, with wisdom comes skill, and with skill comes quality. So like you said, it's just about trying to push yourself each day with the amount of knowledge that you have and the amount of enthusiasm you can muster and all of the skills that you have and everything that you can to put in towards taking another step in your journey to master whatever medium it is that you guys are inclined to become creative and geniuses in. And remember, if you're watching this, you guys are the creative future. So continue to push yourself and continue to invent and think differently. And I think that'll do it for today. I'm getting a little bit rambly. I think this one was definitely fun. Definitely some things just with the rig that I wish we could have pushed a little bit further, but I think we still managed to find something something fun to do together. And maybe you guys learned something or disagreed or agreed. And remember, if you guys have things that you're working on, definitely feel free to share them down below. If you want any encouragement, some thumbs up, or any feedback or anything like that. With that being said, I love you guys lots. Thanks for all the likes and subscribes, and we will see you for some more animation tomorrow.